Hello there guys, and welcome to another Forza Horizon 5 video on my channel. It is now the winter/dry season of Series 14 Donut Media at Horizon, and this week there are another 63 points up for grabs in the festival playlist, and I'll be taking you through the whole festival playlist, through all the challenges, so that you can complete them individual challenges, get the rewards, and of course work towards the seasonal and series rewards as well. This week's season rewards are for 20 points, the Ford Wagon, which is practically the same car as the Morris Traveller or the Morris Traveller, but just with a Ford badge on it. That is a brand new to Forza Horizon 5, but not brand new to this Horizon franchise car. And for 40 points we have the another hard to find exclusive, the Zenvo ST1, which when it was first added to the game the developers accidentally branded as the TS1. And not many people realised, apart from me. So they are the seasonal rewards for the winter/dry season. And of course we can work towards the series rewards for the whole Donut Media update. So for 80 points, if you haven't got that already, that is the Ferrari SF90 Stradale, a hard to find exclusive. And for 160 points in the whole festival playlist across the 4 seasons, you'll be able to get yourself the 2017 Alpine A110. Now if you have completed the whole of summer and autumn and you can complete the majority of winter, you'll be able to unlock that this week. However, I haven't fully completed either of them seasons, therefore I am not able to unlock that in this season unless I absolutely sweat at it. Okay, so as I said, in this video I'll be working through the entire winter/dry season festival playlist, giving you tips, tricks and tunes in order to complete all of the challenges in the festival playlist and get yourself all of the good rewards, or not so good rewards, across the whole festival playlist. If you want to focus specifically on one or a few of the challenges, my lovely moderators will have sorted the timestamps for the video tomorrow, so I will edit them into the description tomorrow. That is Friday the 25th of November, so if you check back then you'll be able to see that there are timestamps in the description, so you can skip to whichever sections of the video that you want to focus on or refresh yourself on. Let's start off this week's festival playlist video then with the monthly events. Now, as suggested by the name, these last across the month, meaning they're not just specific to the winter season. You may have already completed these like I have. It doesn't actually matter which season you complete them in. Regardless of which season you completed them in, you'll get the total series rewards added onto your series total, and then that'll be divided by 4 to get the number added onto each of your seasonal totals. So if you complete it this season or you've completed it previously, you'll be starting on however many points that equates to in the spring season. So as you can see, it is 5 for me because 3 plus 1 plus 1 is 5. And if you haven't completed them already, do not worry, because you can complete them this week or in spring. And of course I'll do a refresher in next week's video. So, the first of the monthly events is the Horizon Story Donut Media at Horizon. It will get you 12 points towards the series, which means 3 points added on each week, and a Forza Edition Pontiac Firebird Trans Am. All you need to do is complete all 5 chapters of this story. That will get you 15 stars because you have to get 3 stars on each chapter. Complete all them chapters and that is all you need to do for this one. When you first log into the game on the Donut Media update, which you probably already have done unless you've missed the past 2 weeks, and then you'll go through the series intro as suggested here in this tab, and that is actually the first chapter of the Donut Media stories. Then you only have to do 4 more chapters and this story will be completed, and you'll get your accolades of course, and then also the rewards for the festival playlist. Then we also have the 2 monthly rivals events, the standard monthly rivals and the Forza EV rivals. Both of these just require you to post a clean lap to complete. I'll tell you what that means in a second. Both of them get you 4 points towards the festival playlist. That is the series total, so each of them will get you 1 point added on each week. So across the 2 rivals events you'll get 8 points towards the series and 2 points added on each week. So to post a clean lap, you just need to make sure that your lap time doesn't have an exclamation mark next to it, because that means it is dirty or flagged. You'll probably notice if in the course of the lap you hit a wall, hit rewind or miss a checkpoint, that it will say lap flagged because of reason, and then that lap will then be dirty or flagged. You'll then need to go ahead and do another lap to make sure that it's clean, and then you'll be able to quit, and it'll have these challenges completed. You don't actually have to beat your rival, so that might cause cause some confusion. So whatever rival you get, whether it's a fast or a slow one, you don't actually have to beat them. All you need to focus on is getting yourself a clean lap, and then hit quit, and these rivals challenges will be completed. Obviously they both don't complete at once, you have to do them separately, but they both require the same criteria. First section ticked off, then we can now move on to the second section, which is the Forzathon event section. This of course includes the Forzathon points, which you'll be able to spend in the lovely Horizon Forzathon shop. Speaking of which, this week it includes the Bugatti EB110 and the Aston Martin Vantage. Both of these are quite good buys if you have Forzathon points saved up. If you don't, then I'll probably steer away from these because you'll be able to get them in wheel spins or other events. We also have the Pop and Lock emote and the Donut Media Grey hoodie. If you've got spare Forzathon points, feel free to splash them on them, and I'd probably steer away from the wheel spins, the super wheel spins, because they're not really that worth it in the Forzathon shop. This week's Forzathon weekly challenge is called Up to Speed. It will as usual get you 5 points towards the festival playlist, and 80 Forzathon points, or double that to 160 Forzathon points if you own the La Casa Solidera house. Now this house does come free with the VIP pass, so if you own that you'll get double Forzathon points in any Forzathon related event, including Horizon Arcade, where of course you get Forzathon points for completing the relevant rounds. I'd highly recommend you do buy this house if you do these Forzathon events regularly, because it does help boost your Forzathon points up. As you probably just saw then, I've got over 9,000 Forzathon points saved up. Of course, if you spend them all the time, you won't end up saving them up, but if you don't, you do get a decent tally to be able to spend if you do come to need them. The first chapter of this Up to Speed weekly Forzathon challenge is called Japanese Performance, and wants you to own and drive the 2001 Acura Integra Type R. This Acura can be purchased from the auto show for 25,000 credits, and if I were you, I'd probably recommend popping a tune on it, because it does start near, I think, is it near the bottom of C class, or might be the top of C class. Either way, it's in C class. It is quite slow, so I'd highly recommend you pop a tune on it. I've made a front wheel drive A-class tune using rally tyres, 440 horsepower from the stock engine. It's just kind of a purist build, quite fun to mess around with. So if you want to download that, it's shared under my gamertag, Shylo 2017, or of course you could download or create any other tune. Once you have your Acura Integra, you can move on to chapter 2, which is called Championship White. This wants you to take a photo of your Acura while it is still clean. Obviously for this one you just need to pop up photo mode wherever you are in the map, unless you want to go to a specific location. Then hit A to take a photo, and you'll see it will count towards your Horizon promo if you've got that on the go. Don't worry about the photo challenge, we'll come back to that later. Then all you need to do is exit photo mode and the second chapter will be completed. The third chapter of this week's festival playlist is called Built to Race, and wants you to win a street race in your Acura Integra. For this one, I would recommend filtering your map to include street racing to make sure that it's easier for you to pick out the street races. I'm not a fan of street races, meaning that I've got quite a few of them with new labelled on them. However, all you need to do is pick any street race or your favourite street race if you have a favourite one, which of course I don't, and then you just need to make sure that you win it. These midnight battles should also count if you're wanting to do them at the same time as completing this challenge. I'd steer away from Event Lab blueprints because usually they either don't work or they bug up the treasure hunt, so steer away from them and just complete a random street race. You can lower the difficulty if you want to make it easier, or you can keep it at whatever difficulty you've got it set at the moment. Just make sure that you win the race, and of course make sure that you are in the correct car. And the final chapter to wrap up this weekly Forzathon challenge is called VTEC Just Kicked In, because of course the Acura uses a VTEC in its stock engine, and this wants you to earn a slingshot skill. If you aren't aware, which I wasn't until I YouTube searched it, a slingshot skill is where you are in a race. It can be a drag race or any other random race from off the map, and you travel behind an AI car for a certain period of time, therefore getting a drafting skill, and once you've got your drafting skill, you hammer down on the throttle, overtake them, so you're getting a drafting skill and a pass skill like consecutively, and that gets you the slingshot skill. Quite quite easy to complete, but of course if the AI are like really fast, then of course it is a bit more difficult. So what you can do is lower the difficulty to make sure that the AI aren't going too fast, and then sit behind one for a few seconds and then overtake it, and hopefully you'll be able to get yourself a slingshot skill. And that wraps up this week's Forzathon Weekly Challenge Up to Speed. You'll have yourself 5 points towards the festival playlist and 80 or 160 Forzathon points. Moving swiftly along, we have the daily Forzathon challenges. There are 7 of these, and they pop up at 3:30 PM GMT every day, so 1 of them per day, and each of them lasts for 7 days each. I'm not going to go into too much detail with these because they are generally quite easy, but if throughout the week they are popping up and you don't understand them or you can't complete them, let me know in the comments, tell me which one it is and tell me what the criteria is, and I'll be more than happy to explain it or try and break down the problem for you. That wraps up the Forzathon events section then. We can now move on to the seasonal events section, which will take the longest, so let's get straight into it. First of all, in this section is the trial, which for the 3rd week on the row is called Bumper to Bumper. It will get you 10 points towards the festival playlist and a Ferrari 488 Pista from 2019. The restriction for this challenge is B-Class Anything Goes, and it will be road racing. Of course, remember as well, with the trial, it is a co-op event, meaning that you need Xbox Live Gold or Game Pass, and it is also a requirement for you to have the Hall of Fame unlocked. I've got a guide for that on my channel, so you can go ahead and find that if you want to find more out about the Hall of Fame. And also, with it being a co-op event, you're racing on a team of 6 versus a team of 6 driver tires, and you have to overtake the driver tires, therefore getting more points, and hopefully beat them in a best of 3 battle. I have quite a few suggestions for this one, however not of course as many as Elf would have, because he is the B-Class specialist. So let's get straight into it then. First of all, the 2015 Jaguar XES, tuned by me. The 1990 Mazda Savannah RX-7, also by me. 1997 Mazda RX-7, also by me. Mercedes-Benz 190E from 1990. This is by Dobre, aka Andrew9565. I'll leave his gamertag in the description, and I'll also make sure that you know about the updated tune. We have the Nissan Skyline R34 by me. The 2003 Nissan 350Z by me. The Nissan 370Z, also by me. The Subaru Legacy, also by me. And finally, the Volkswagen Golf R32. Which, you guessed it, is also by me. The next event in the festival playlist this week is an Event Lab feature from Subi156 called the Horizon Super Scramble. This will get you 3 points towards the festival playlist and a Builder's Helmet Clothing Award. Apparently it is a mix of dirt, pavement and wood surfaces to bring the ultimate scramble circuit. The restriction for this one is S1 class Anything Goes. Of course, having never have done this event before, I can only go off what the description says, and so I've selected a couple of cars that are capable of doing road and off-road. So they are the Chevrolet Corvette Stingray Coupe from 2020 with off-road tyres. We have the Ford Racing Puma Forza Edition that is pre-tuned by Forza and of course only comes with VIP because it's one of the VIP cars. And then we also have the Hoonigan Gymkhana 10 Escort Cosworth Group A from 1991. This is tuned by me, and it's pretty much capable of anything, to be honest with you, whether it be playground games, road racing, dirt racing, cross country, drifting, pretty much it can do anything. The next 2 events are seasonal PR stunts. As usual, I'll be showing the car restriction and any other information regarding the event, and then I'll show you gameplay of me completing it. Or at least I will for one of them, and you'll see why in a second. First of all then, we have the Oceano Azul Speed Trap, which will get you 2 points in a super wheel spin, and the restriction is D-Class Ford Wagon. Now, if you're eagle-eyed like me, you may have already realised, hang on a minute, isn't the Ford Wagon the 20-point reward? Well, yes, my friend, it is indeed, which means that you have to get 20 points first before you're able to complete the PR stunt. And if you were doing that if you're doing the festival playlist in order, that might be a bit annoying. Because I am very clearly on 6 points and not 20, I am not able to show you me completing it, and I also don't yet have a tune. However, when I do get it near the end of the video to do the thumbnail, I will create a tune, share it, and I'll pop it in the description for you, or I'll let you know in a pinned comment that a tune has been shared. Just while we're at it though, I do want to point out that the restriction for this one is 95 miles an hour on the Oceania Azul speed trap. As you can see, you can get a pretty big run up pretty much from the festival here, or of course from the other direction. I'm not actually sure whether the Ford Wagon does 95 mile an hour stock. I'd imagine that it doesn't, so I would imagine you're going to have to apply some power upgrades in order for it to be able to do that. And I also of course don't know where it starts in D-Class PI wise, so I'm hoping that it's not going to be too annoying to get this restriction completed. The second and final PR stunt, which I am able to show you gameplay and a tune for, is the City Escape Trailblazer, which, as suggested by the name, is in the city, aka Guanajuato. So it'll get you 2 points in a super wheel spin, and the restriction for this one, it's a bit of a theme lately, is S2 class anything goes. Of course, with it being in the city, you pretty much need to wall ride and hope for a bit of luck. You can kind of see that it's around here. You can probably see it popping up. So 46 seconds needed left on the clock. My current personal best is 46.3, so at least we know it's possible, and I assume that I did it in one of the cars I'm about to suggest for you. Having just checked the leaderboard in between these clips, I've been informed that I actually got the PB in an S1 class, middle of S1 class Lamborghini Reventon, which means that hopefully this should not be a challenge whatsoever. So the cars I have to suggest for this one are the pre-tuned by Forza BMW X5M Forza edition. Then moving along here, we also have the Unigan RS200 Evolution. And we have, of course, the Porsche 918 Spider and the Porsche 911 Carrera S. You can also even use the Vul 05RR if you are feeling brave and want a bit of a Mexican challenge. Okay, so I've gone for the Mexican challenge for this one, and I'm just going to send it and hope for the best. The only real tactics for this one are to send it and hope for the best. So let's hope that we can send it and hope for the best. So let's rev up the Vul. As you can see, we have to go through here, which is very sus, and it isn't exactly clean at all. Okay, then we absolutely send it through here. I am suffering severe understeer. Then we brake here, and then we absolutely roar to the finish line and across the line. 46.131. Obviously not a personal best, and by far not the cleanest run I've ever done. Very, very scruffy indeed. However, it does prove that you can do it indeed in a very, very awful car. Next up, we have 3 seasonal championships, and if you have never done seasonal championships before, or you've never heard of a piece of information before, you'll be able to say that you learn something new every day. So with these seasonal championships, you can do them in solo, or you can do it in co-op/PvP, although I don't really know why you would do them in PvP, because then only one person can get the reward. So if you're doing them in solo, you'll have to drive or fast travel to each of the 3 races marked out on the map. Obviously, when you enter the championship, you'll be doing the first race, so then you'll have to go to the second and third race in no particular order and complete all of them. And overall, you have to have more points than the AI. So you don't necessarily have to win all 3 of them. However, pretty much if you get less than a podium in 1 or 2 of them, one of the AI will have more points than you. If you're doing them in co-op, it'll automatically fast travel you to the events in whatever order it decides. And it works in the same way as the trials, where it's a best of 3, and you and your teammate have to overhaul the points of the driver's cars in order to beat them. The first seasonal championship is called Real Mechanic. It will get you 5 points towards the festival playlist, a BMW M2, which for those of you that have watched one of my streams or have communicated with me in some way will know that it is one of my dream cars. However, the competition version, the restriction for this one is C-Class Classic Muscle, and it is street racing. Now, as usual, my tunes are very, very good, and are, of course, very, very drivable, except for this one, of course, because first of all, we have the 1970 Buick GSX, which is a rear-wheel drive power build boasting 726 horsepower, no steering wheel and no brakes, or no tyres, and no tyres. Then, we also have the Holden HQ Monero from 1973, which is rear-wheel drive, has 1050 horsepower, doesn't have a steering wheel, doesn't have brakes, doesn't have tyres, and doesn't have a gearbox. So if you want to use one of them tunes, be my guest, or if you want to use the sensible option, create your own or download somebody else's that is actually physically drivable by a human being. Next up, we have the Versus Seasonal Championship. Dirt Racing, 5 points towards the festival playlist, and a Mercedes-Benz A45 AMG. And the restriction for this one is A-Class Audi versus BMW, or what they mean is Audi and BMW, because you can pick either. Okay then, so as you can see, I have 5 suggestions for you for this one, because actually most of my Audis and BMWs are tuned for road racing, or aren't really suitable for either. So first of all, we have the 2013 Audi RS4 Avant, primarily a road build, but because it has rally tyres, it is also suitable for like dirt scrambles. Then we have the fully off-road built in mind 2015 Audi S1, which is using its stock engine and is a nice purist build with a nice rally livery. Then we have probably the best car here, the 2016 BMW M2 Coupe, which of course you win from the previous championship. This is running a 6.2 litre V8. It's absolutely monstrous. The gear ratios are a bit sus, I will admit that. However, it's so fun to drive, very easy to drive, and can post some really fast times on rivals if you have the confidence to send it. Then we have the 2018 BMW M5, which is not very good, and the BMW M8 Competition, only here because it has off-road tyres, which are actually rally tyres. And the final championship of this week is called D-List, and will get you 5 points towards the festival playlist and an Ultima 1020. It is road racing, and the restriction is D500, anything goes. Yippee! Whee! My first suggestion for this one is the 1970 Datsun 510, and I'm pretty sure I've got 2 builds for this one, but this is definitely the better of them. It is all-wheel drive, 240 plus horsepower. It kind of turns, however I wouldn't really expect any D-Class car to turn, to be honest with you, so pretty good for what it is. And then moving all the way along to the right here, we have the Toyota Celica GT from 1974. Pretty much the same car as the Datsun, but with a different name. It is a rear-wheel drive power build this time with 360 horsepower. It's okay to drive, doesn't really turn as well as the Datsun. However, as I've already stated, you shouldn't really expect any D-Class car to have a steering wheel. Now we have ourselves a lovely challenges section, boasting a treasure hunt, photo challenge and eliminator challenge. First up in this section is the treasure hunt called Money Pit. It will get you 3 points towards the festival playlist and 100 Forzathon points once you smash through the lovely treasure chest. So as usual, I will run through the treasure clue, then I'll show you a quick example of what you need to do, and then I'll take you to the exact location of the treasure chest, at which point, if you don't want it to be spoiled for you, you should either leave the video completely and go ahead and complete it yourself, or skip around 30 seconds to a minute in the video while we smash the chest so that it doesn't get spoiled for you. This week's treasure clue then is called, runs the experimental project. Number 5 needs 10,000 upgrades. For this, all you need to do is hop in any Mazda MX-5, but to be safe, I'd hop in the 1994 Mazda MX-5 as pictured there, and you need to just spend 10,000 credits on upgrades. That is simply all you need to do. Spend 10,000 credits on upgrades, back out of the festival or house, and then it should say treasure challenge complete. By far the easiest way to do this is buy yourself a stock MX-5 from the auto show for 25,000 credits, and then either do one of the 2 following things. Swap the drivetrain for 10,000 credits to all-wheel drive, or you could swap the tyres for a tyre compound that is also 10,000 credits, which I believe is pretty much all of them. That is 10,000 credits in its own, and then you can just back out the festival, complete the treasure hunt, and then you can just simply remove the car from your garage. So as you can see, treasure challenge is complete, and once you click this it will open up the map and pop yourself a lovely orange circle on the map. It works the same way as the barn finds. You get a circle, except it is orange rather than purple. You have to go inside that circle, and somewhere in there will be located the treasure chest, of course the treasure chest rather than the barn find. Then all you need to do is instead drive up to it. You actually have to smash through it like you would do if you found a treasure chest buried, and you'll get yourself 3 points and 100 Forzathon points. Once your circle has popped up, you can also head back to your festival playlist and check to see that the thumbnail behind this challenge is updated to show a picture of the treasure chest and where it is, a clue as to where it is located. So as you can see, it's kind of on a pavement, and behind it is kind of a strange sculpture which has many colours, just like Joseph Technicolor Dreamcoat. So this is the exact location of it. You can see that picture is there. It's on the side of a yellow building. So this is what it looks like on the map. It's actually pretty much right next to the City Escape Trailblazer. All you need to do, of course, is go up to it, and of course you just need to smash through it, like so, and you get yourself 3 points and 100 Forzathon points. Next up we have the photo challenge #BuffHorses, which wants you to photograph the 2018 Ford Mustang GT at Toyota Hickeyuen. That is the area with all the pyramids and the Toyota Hickeyuen drag strip. This will get you 2 points towards the festival playlist and a Raoul Urias Horizon Cap clothing reward. Make sure that you don't get the 2018 Mustang GT confused with any of the RTR Mustangs or the Mustang RTR spec also from 2018, or any other Mustang Shelby or anything like that. It's specifically the 2018 Mustang GT, the bog standard one, for 40,000 credits. So all you need to do is park up your Mustang anywhere with the Toyota Hickeyuen in view, and excuse the Forza wing on mine, it is a race build. There's also a Forza bomber in the background there, I could just spotted. Then all you need to do is hit A with your photo. It should say photograph the 2018 ticked, and take a photo at Toyota Hickeyuen also ticked, meaning that the photo challenge has been completed. The final event from the challenges section is an Eliminator Battle Royale challenge. Still hasn't changed, the note to developers, since the start of the game, which was now over a year ago. Finish 30th or better, so that means in the top left when you're in the Eliminator, it will give a driver's left count, and that needs to be 30 or less. Of course, that is including you. At this point, to be safe, I would make sure that you get eliminated properly by challenging someone or letting them challenge you and then just letting them beat you, because if you quit, it might not complete. I haven't tested it yet, but it might not complete. So if you want to, you're willing to test that, then fair enough. But that finish 30th or better will get you 2 points towards the festival playlist and a more power baby Forza link reward. And the final section of this week's festival playlist is the Hot Wheels events, which are of course only available to those who own the Hot Wheels expansion, which can be purchased separately from the Microsoft Store or as part of the Premium Add-ons bundle. If you don't own the Hot Wheels expansion, you can still get the 100% festival playlist achievement, because it will take into account that you do not own the Hot Wheels expansion, and it will subtract them points from the total to make sure that you get it, obviously providing that you complete all the other challenges. However, if you do own the expansion, you just choose not to complete these challenges, you won't be able to get the 100% achievement. You also need to have reached the Elite rank, which is S2 class cars, on the Hot Wheels expansion to access these Hot Wheels events. I did that in my playthrough of the Hot Wheels expansion when it first came out on the 19th of July, so if you want to go and check that out, then feel free to do so. The Hot Wheels PR stunt for this week is the Canyon Jump Danger Sign, 2 points in the Super Wheel Spin, and the restriction is S2 class anything goes. Just please feel free to use the same cars that are suggested for the Trailblazer, so Hoonigan Iris 200, both the Porsches, the Ultima, you could even use the Rimac, or anything of that kind of nature, something that's fast, powerful and provides a decent top speed. And the Hot Wheels Seasonal Championship is on a speed circuit. It's called Joy of Cars. It will get you 5 points towards the festival playlist, and a restriction is A class, anything goes. It'll also get you a lovely Morgan 3-wheeler. I'm not really going to suggest any cars for this one. Just pick any A class car that is suitable for the Hot Wheels kind of track surfacing, and you'll be absolutely fine with that one. And that wraps up this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. It is a great pleasure to make these videos every week and to help people out. If you have enjoyed it, then please do consider liking the video and subscribing to the channel. We are approaching 350 subscribers, and it would massively help me out if you could subscribe to the channel. I will hopefully be able to start the Eliminator series that I am currently working on in the next few weeks. I probably won't be able to stream this week, but hopefully we'll get another stream in the next couple of weeks as well. And of course, I'll keep coming with the community posts. Now we've got them unlocked with some polls and just random questions. I might even start a question of the day series, so please stay tuned for that, and hope to get them out in the coming days and weeks. So as I said, thank you so much for watching. I will hopefully see you in the next video, and hopefully the lovely mod team will get the timestamps sorted so I can add them to the description tomorrow. Okay then, so I'll see you in the next video. Hope you enjoyed. See you then. Bye.